Welcome to Will It Build, the series where I take your builds from my YouTube comments and Discord server and put them to the test to see if they are the real deal. If it's solid, then I'll gift you 1,000 silver, and if it's really something special, you'll be featured in a dedicated build video for your submitted build. So comment yours below so we can answer the question, will it build? Without further ado, let's get started with Will It Build episode 4. Step 1 is to pull up the Discord server to see what build we're... Step 1 is to pull up the Discord server that is linked down in the description below to take a look at what builds are in here and see which one we will be trying out today. Interesting. What do we have here? I recently came up with a Void Hunter build coming from a Titan main and wanted to see how infinite I could make Invis. I'm aware there are options like Graviton Forfeit and Omnioculus, but I wanted to make an off-meta version. This build makes use of the somewhat recently buffed Radiant Dance machines in combination with Vanishing Steps. They laid out the full thing here right away. Start by dodging, get a kill to extend Radiant Dance Machine timer, then either dodge or dive to go Invis again. With the Gambler's Dodge, you have near infinite uptime on both Invis and the Weaken debuff via the melee. Vortex Grenade is used for its great ad clear capabilities, and in combination with Firepower and Echo of Harvest, makes 2 orbs and Void Breach from 1 grenade kill. So let's start out with that. I don't want to put too much stuff on right now. Obviously, we need Vanishing Step, we need Gambler's Dodge, Vortex Grenade, and then we'll pull up the Echo of Harvest as well. So I want to start out with this initial setup, and then we'll start to piece the rest of it together. All right, so step 1, let's make our way over to the Legend Lost Sector. I guess in patrol real quick, I just want to see really fast kind of what the idea is. So I guess the idea is dodge, and then I guess, yeah, because our dodge is infinitely coming back, right? Because of multi-dodge. And obviously with Vanishing Step, every time we dodge, we go invisible. And every time we kill an enemy, we get 5 seconds added to the multi-dodge. So I think the idea is to just kind of instantly shoot and then dodge. Shoot, instantly dodge. Shoot, instantly dodge. And I think the idea also, if you have a tankier target, is that, for example, if I can't kill the target, I'd maybe shoot, dive, and then shoot dodge. Well, no, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter because you have infinite dodges. Yeah, so even if you don't kill the target and get the 5-second Radiant Dance Machine extension, you can still spam the dodge to go invisible. So it's not even, you don't even have to get a kill in between every dodge. You just have to get a kill every 5 to 10 seconds. So I'm curious to see how this will play once we walk over here into the Legend Lost Sector. So let's hop up here, boot it up, and see what happens. And I like the idea of testing this in higher end content as well, because it'll give us a good idea of how it works in an environment where it's maybe not as easy to infinitely kill stuff. Like right here, we've already kind of been taken out of our loot, but I think that's okay because we still have things like our Trapper's Ambush to be like a backup use of invisibility. And then do a quick little dodge. And then I'll actually kill a Shank so that I get my multi-dodge timer back up. And like, again, yeah, even if you don't actually kill the target, you can still just spam the dodge. And now that we've ran out of the dodge, we can just use our dive. Easy peasy. We only got shot at like once that entire sequence. And now I'm wondering how it can work if we mix in dives in between everything as well. Because remember, our dive is a weaken. So I think the idea is sort of dodge, get a kill, dive to weaken everything, and go invisible again, kill something, and then dodge again, which gives us our dive back. That is hilarious. I feel like this is a setup that has a lot of complexity behind it. That has a lot of room for mastery, and you know, once you play it enough, you can do some really gross stuff with it. Let's put some heat on these guys. Obviously, we don't always have to play super up close. We can play a little bit from range as well. But I do kind of want to push up and try and be really aggressive because I feel like this is an infinite invisibility build that allows you to be really aggressive. So I can push up here, especially when there's weaker enemies around. I think a bow is awesome for this because you can load up the charge of the bow while you're invisible, shoot the arrow, and then instantly dodge, so you do a pretty solid amount of damage, and all of your downtime charging up the bow, you're invisible and not getting shot at. And then we're out of invis cooldowns now. I'm feeling like this would be better with Marksman dodge, just because when you do end up running out of the dodge eventually, Marksman dodge will come back a little bit more quickly than Gamblers will, but I'm not entirely sure. And let's go ahead and see what mods they had laid out for us as well, because I want to incorporate some mods into the build before we start mixing stuff up and doing some of my tweaks. Let's take a second at mods. We've got a weapon siphon and double ashes to assets. So I feel like I'll probably go with the kinetic siphon, and then I don't think I can fit double ashes to assets, so I'm just gonna go with one. We've got firepower, grenade kickstart, and bolstering detonation. That is a lot of energy. Bolstering detonation makes a lot of sense though for being able to get our class ability back when we do grenade damage, so that we can have that Radiant Dance Machine loop up a little bit more often when we do run out of the timer. So I like the idea behind that. And it looks like I can't really fit firepower, so maybe I'll just go double bolstering detonation instead and see how that goes. And then for the chest piece, we have got charged up and some activity specific resistances. So I'll just do a harmonic siphon and then maybe an arc resistance. And then on the boots, innervation, insulation, and stacks on stacks. And then class item bomber, powerful attraction, and reaper. So my one concern with this aspect is that when in the multi-dodge, Radiant Dance Machines does not proc mods like Bomber. I'm not sure if it procs mods like Reaper, but I know it does not proc mods like Bomber. But I do understand that like the initial use of the dodge will proc Bomber, so it still gives us some benefit. I'm just not entirely sure if we're going to be getting everything we want out of something like that. I'm pretty sure that Bomber doesn't proc when you're using the multi-dodge from Radiant Dance Machines, or it could be on like a timer cooldown or something like that, a universal cooldown. Let's test that out real quick just to double check. So right here, if I throw my grenade, it procs right there. Doesn't seem to, obviously not proccing on any of these instances. Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's only that first initial dodge. Whenever you have the multi-dodge buff up, I do not believe that Bomber procs. But what I am curious about is whether or not Reaper will proc in between every single dodge. That I am unsure of. And if that procs on every single dodge, then that can be extremely potent. So let's take a peek. Hit the dodge. Obviously, our initial dodge will create an orb right there, but if we hit a second dodge... Oh... Okay. So wait a minute. This could be something very interesting with Reaper in the mix. Okay, so it seems like it is working, but it has some sort of cooldown so that you can't do it infinitely. So like, for example, I'll shoot this guy. Boom, that makes an orb. And then if I shoot this guy, he also makes an orb. Shoot this guy, he... What? Okay, maybe... Huh. I think it might be every time, no matter what. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh my god, I just realized another aspect of what's going on here. I just realized something that's kind of nuts. So think about this situation, right? I'm not sure if the person who put this together had this intention. If we consider all of the components we have in our kit that go into this loop, we're literally invincible. Because think about it. If we have Radiant Dance Machines for infinite dodge, that also allows us to infinitely proc Reaper. And if we're allowed to infinitely proc Reaper, then we get to generate an orb on pretty much every single enemy that we kill. And if we have powerful attraction for every other time that we do that dodge, then continuously proc Reaper and kill enemies, we're automatically scavenging the orb that we just created thanks to powerful attraction, which fully heals us every single time because thanks to the Echo of Starvation, which grants us Devour on orb pickup and subsequently fully heals and extends our Devour duration every single time we pick up an additional orb. Every single enemy that we kill after we dodge when we kill it and automatically scavenge that orb, we get a full HP heal. All right, so check out what we've got going on here, okay? Dodge, kill this guy, he makes an orb. Dodge, which procs powerful attraction to pick up that orb, which full heals us, and readies up Reaper again to kill the next guy, make another orb. And then we dodge to pick up that orb. You guys kind of see how the loop goes? Add Dynamo. So Dynamo would not work with the dodge spamming for the same reasons that Bomber does not work. I just thought of another thing too. If you're killing enemies with the weapon that you have a Siphon mod on, you're getting even more orbs. So look at my Devour timer on the left and my health bar at the top. Every time I kill an enemy, instantly dodge after, instantly scoops up the orb that is generated from Reaper. Oh, this is crispy. And again, I might consider messing with marksman dodge or something like this, just because you can consistently reload your weapon. In fact, I'm curious. I want to do a speed run of this Lost Sector one more time, just trying out marksman dodge. I want to keep everything else exactly the same, but I want to give marksman dodge a go just to see what happens. Actually, the only thing I want to change real quick is I want to drop insulation, because I don't think insulation is particularly necessary. You don't really need... the only time you're generating orbs is when you use your dodge consistently, in which case you don't really need class ability energy because you're on infinite multi-dodge. So I'm going to actually swap this out for Arc Scavenger, and let's see what happens. All right. Yes! Not doing too much damage to the servitor, I must admit, but... Oh, come on, come on. Put the shield on, put the shield on, put the shield on. Yes! Rampage! Oh my god. Come on, put your shield up, put your shield up. Yeah. Dude. We just unlocked something diabolical. Wait, get the stun on him. Get the grenade out. No way. No. Oh, I kept the multi-dodge. No, there's no bad guys. Okay, it's okay, though. So in this circumstance, when we lose our dodge, we have Marksman's dodge, which recharges much more quickly than Gambler's dodge, and we just chuck our grenade, proc bolstering detonation, boom, we basically have it back already. I mean, the crazy thing, too, is, like, you never have to reload your guns, ever, with this build. That's another incredible part of this. Fighting Lion is going to go crazy with this.
I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Oops. You know, it might have been a good idea conceptually, but, yeah, I don't know if the Fighting Lion cooks like we wanted it to cook. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that was fun. It was fun. It was funny, and it was actually pretty good with certain weapon loadouts. The Fighting Lion one I'm not so sure about, but like the Forbearance one, that was amazing. I love the Marksman dodge, but I can also totally see the angle for Gambler's dodge as well. Definitely love that one. That one definitely wins 1,000 silver. And if you guys want to have your build featured in the next video, obviously make sure you join the Discord server down below in the description or leave in the comments down below for a chance to be featured.